So it is 5:30 in the morning, and I am driving over to this place called the Phillips Ranch. I've been there a couple times just because I was driving by it one day, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the hell is this? It's just this crazy dilapidated property, but it was more than that because it's huge. I asked around and I got 10 different stories that it was flooded, that it was fire, all these different ideas about what it was. Somehow I just wound up over there, and it is not the kind of place that you go on an Indian Roadmaster or some big bike like that. Better off on my Ducati Scrambler or something like that. Here I was on that, trying to negotiate those dirt roads. So when I popped my helmet off, I got swarmed by bees, and I was just trying to get video, literally, of the road going there. I put my helmet back on, drove over to the property, which was a few miles away, popped my helmet off again, and bees were after me again. I turned the camera on anyway because I wanted to get the shot, and started walking around, and the bees would not leave me alone. They were Africanized or something and just came after me, and I swatted one finally, and I think it just wound up stuck in my hair, literally, and stung my head, and it was a real bitch trying to ride home with my head swelled up inside that helmet on a hot day. So that really sucks. Right now I'm vlogging on the Osmo action camera. This is the camera that I brought along on the Ducati riding experience. I'm going to be switching over to the Canon EOS R because I have that on a gimbal. It is a full frame camera, so I'll be able to get a lot of detail. Although I must say, anytime I've done anything with this little camera, I've really liked it. I am totally a one-man show. Rarely do I have help. When I do, Johnny Salami helps me sometimes. Sometimes Lauren Parker will go with me. But most of the time, this stuff I have to do on my own. And that's okay. I don't mind working alone. Sometimes I could do better if I did have help. This little area, you can almost miss it where you drive across. There are a couple of ways to get to this place. I just happened upon it, actually. I'm still finding more and more information out about the place that we're going today. It is referred to as the Phillips Ranch. The Phillips Ranch was, I think, established in the 50s, and there is some speculation that besides being a restaurant and a lodge at one point in time, that they boarded horses and all that stuff and all the trails, but it was set enough away from the road and town that law enforcement wasn't necessarily going to come and hang out there. And that is because there was speculation that it was a brothel. But the part that brings me to this whole thing is that there was the body of a man from Van Nuys, decomposed body, found at the Phillips Ranch. Apparently, this is what I've heard. Now, not only that, people use this area and that space to do satanic rituals. It's the only part that kind of scares me. I'm not really afraid of the dead. I'm afraid of the living. I'm just going to go and sort of experience this place, sort of see what the quiet morning light brings to a place that has such a sordid past. Because apparently this place was a really, really, really nice place at one time. Something happened, probably in 1969, when they found a decomposed body of a man from Van Nuys. People didn't want to stay there. This is just what I'm putting together. They started to sell things off. So let's check this out. So what is the real history of the ranch? Well, the Phillips Ranch sets back in Baird Canyon, an offshoot of San Francisquito Canyon. The property was originally homesteaded by Bill Hicken on July 15, 1912. A little over a decade later, it was flooded by the St. Francis Dam flood, so basically it was underwater from 1924 to about 1928. There are dozens of stories about the ghosts of St. Francis Dam. That was a disaster where hundreds died in a flood, and it's said to be extremely haunted, but that is another episode. So, back to the story. Property records give a construction date of the Phillips Ranch of 1952, and that was for a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. Phil Phillips owned and operated a ready-mix concrete business, and he did build the ranch to be a resort. Photographic evidence from the early 60s shows that Gladys Phillips operated the ranch as a resort. And one key feature of the property was the Phillips Ranch restaurant, which was a large 2-story cinder block building that stood next to the Phillips' own home and a well-used swimming pool. The ranch also sported horse stables and other outbuildings. It was very popular for quite a while, having a pool, a restaurant, an aviary, a shooting range, deer and quail hunting, horseback riding, and far enough away to limit uninvited law enforcement. The 2 main buildings, the restaurant and the house, had been abandoned by the time they were destroyed in the June 2002 copper fire. The property had been in foreclosure at least twice, once in 1996 and again a month before the fire. After the fire, the former restaurant building was vandalized by drug users. As of 2017, the property is on the defaulted tax roll. So this property has been vandalized by drug users and, of course, Satan worshipers. Or at least they want you to think they are by placing scary things around the property. That's all I know about the Phillips Ranch. It continues to be a spooky place to go visit. I know a lot of weird things happen there. I've lost a drone there. I've had bees attack me there. And it's just plain bizarre. But so is anything set back in the canyons. Take care of each other and keep rock alive.
you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you like the video, and turn on your notifications so that you're notified when I upload a new video.